Here comes our first Duke Nukem Zero Hour Out of Bounds showcase, and what I believe is the first Out of Bounds showcase for Duke Nukem Zero Hour. I want to give a shout out to Metalhead. He responded to the last Duke Nukem Zero Hour video I did, along with a list of requests regarding areas that he'd love to see that the player doesn't normally get to be in. Unfortunately, this video will be split into 4 parts because I just started a new job and it's going to take some time settling in. So in order to complete my 3 to 4 day deadline, I got to make some adjustments. Don't forget to like and subscribe, help me on my way to 300, and without further ado, let's begin. So this is the very opening of Duke Nukem Zero Hour, and there's 2 areas in this scene that the player can't visit, and that's the hallway that the female commander is walking down, and this area that future Duke resides in during this scene. So first I'll show the hallway. Now here's a look at the room future Duke first appears in. So now we're at the level Mean Streets, and at the very beginning we're dropped off at this skyscraper by a helicopter. We're just going to pop right out of this building, and we can see that the helicopter eventually just gets deleted from existence. And now here's a better look at outside of this building. Alright, here's a special one from Metalhead. We're going to see what's on the other side of this fence.
Sometimes I even amaze myself.
Now let's take a look inside the subway. Notice that normally looking at this area we can see a train pass by, and this is what the train looks like behind the scenes.
I am the king of the world, baby.
You might have missed this detail, but there's a set of train tracks right above these buildings at this part of the level. The train here is set up just like the last train we saw. In fact, this train can even touch Duke, where the train will stop dead in its tracks, no pun intended. Here's some views past the barricades that keep the player confined in this level.
All aboard the Midtown Express to hell. Let's rock. Groovy.
I was recording some footage, I found some object in the air that the devs must have forgot to take out. I originally thought that it was the barrel of the tank waiting to spawn in, but that's not the case, as in this clip the tank shows up and it's still there. So I really wanted there to be something, because just like Metalhead, I too was curious about these two miscolored windows on the building. We thought that there could have been a secret room here, but this isn't the case. In fact, if we get close enough to it, we can see it's only just two miscolored windows. I'm not sure why this is, but it could have been an error or just an unfinished part of the level. And here we are at the end of Mean Streets. Metalhead wanted to see what was on top of this ladder, because normally we can't get to it. This nuclear symbol will load the next level. But we can get rid of the load feature in this instance and go up the ladder. But to our disappointment, there's actually nothing up here. So this is located pretty far out of bounds of the level Liberty or Death. So this was confirmed by Bald Lord Extreme, the 3D designer for this game, that this area was actually a test area for some of the enemies. If you watched the first Duke Nukem Zero Hour video I did, you might remember that there was a cube beneath the elevator that plays elevator music. This is most likely to create a stereo object, where once you come near it, the sound gets louder. This isn't the only example of this, as you'll see later in the video. Here's some out of bounds views in the level Nuclear Winter. And here's some more out of bounds features, but this time at the end where we send out our distress signal, where we can even see this helicopter waiting to be sent out. So there's not actually a lot to showcase in this level. However, like I said before, we have this room in the background that's used to project the background sound of water in the level. So for the level Fallout, I first want to show you some out of bounds areas. And lastly, let's see what this area looks like if we don't load the next level. And here we are in Under Siege, an area that's only used in a cutscene that happens when you fail to get reinforcements in time. Well, in the cutscene, an explosion happens as the door comes open, and it's created by these pigs as soon as the door opens. Over here is a duplicate area of the level that's used for the last cutscene. And time for the last level of this video, and that's Boss Hog. So nothing to really see in the main level, but we can visit this area that's only used in cutscenes. And surprising enough, the ladder in this area can actually be used by the player. And for the last segment, we have our first peek of Dry Town. And there's a lot more rendered of this area than I thought there would be. We can visit this well over here and even jump in it, but that's about as deep as we can go in it. If we peer over the edge, we can see just how close this area is to Boss Hog. So that was the end of part 1 for Duke Nukem Zero Hour Out of Bounds Showcase. If there's some areas I missed, just let me know in the comments below. Also, if you want to see some additional content I post every now and then, go check out my subreddit, there'll be a link in the description below. I really enjoy getting feedback from all of you, especially when it comes to games like Duke Nukem Zero Hour. I seriously thought that not a lot of people would be interested in what I wanted to showcase in it, but obviously not. It's one of those situations where you do it because you have a passion for it, and then turns out other people had passions for it too. And in the end, that's why I like posting this content to this channel. With all this being said, stay safe and take it easy.